Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, my name's Diane.
I'm Chinzia.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia, aka Mama Lou.
If I am not mistaken, we had a birthday yesterday. We're airing this episode then. Happy birthday, Lydia!
Birthday, Lydia!
Thank you so much. Yes, the older
Mama
you get, the
Lou.
more you cringe. You're like, no! But like,
You're still the youngest out of all of us.
Oh, as the good philosopher Pitbull once said, a day above ground is a good day. Remember that.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
He's quite the philosopher.
Good job,
Pitbull,
Pitbull.
you know, he's also said some other things.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, like
some not so good things.
some appropriate things.
Yes.
Yes, but anyways, that's one of the things I remember.
All
him
right.
saying.
Well, Pitbull is not a boy band member, so
Unfortunately.
yes.
Yes.
Kind of weird to see him as a boy band member.
He'd be the sexy older man.
Or
He'd
would
be-
it be kind of like a Menudo type band because he kind of has like the
Oh,
Latin
yeah.
vibes.
He could be like a manager.
He wasn't in the one with Louis, like Joy Fatone and Louis Fonzi, and then there were some other people that used to.
But
be
not
before.
Pitbull.
But not Pitbull. I feel,
No, not
feel like that man is a solo man,
Yeah.
unless he's with Enrique Iglesias.
Then that was a
Then that duo is pretty, fire.
Yeah, I have to agree. That,
Okay. Well, speaking of concerts and summertime, guess what's coming up in a few days, guys? The start
Of the DNA World Tour.
oh,
the
yes.
Backstreet Boys.
Yes.
Our show is not till July, so we do have a little bit longer. Well, just over a month and a half, I guess. Maybe.
So it's exciting. Finally, we get to do some concerts
We're
after
back.
2.5 years.
Yay.
more exciting if it was a brand new tour. However,
a lot of work
it was
went into
still a
this
really
one.
good tour, and it was supposed to be the second leg 2 years ago. And as we all know, COVID came and shut everything down.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
We'll
So,
take what we can get at this
so,
point.
yes.
Yeah, that's okay.
And it was a pretty baller show. So
It was.
That,
It was
on
very
that
good.
tour we did the three of us did Ottawa. The
Yes.
four of us did Toronto. Did we do any other? Oh, Nashville. We went to Nashville.
Nashville, yeah.
Was Diane saying something? Did she?
I was about to say Nashville, but then
Oh.
you said it, so
Okay,
I
I was
didn't
just
want to
like,
interrupt you.
Is she mute?
I
I'm
thought
like,
she was.
what's happening? I'm like, oh my God. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
All right.
Good. Sorry. Yeah, so we did that. That one was fun because we, got to see Christopher and Sync. So, and also
Of course.
So much
AJ
fun.
and Brian were also there and stuff. So obviously they were at the concert, but this was like a pre-event thing. So
I guess AJ Brown. Right.
What?
the Ottawa show was obviously one of our, not obviously, but it was one of our best VIP experiences. Really enjoyed
Yep.
that. It was a very last minute purchase. We're like, do we do this VIP? I don't know. It worked out great for us because they used to have a pit on the last tour. It doesn't appear they're going to have a pit this tour.
Well,
Yes, they are. We have tickets in it.
No, but like the inside pit.
Yeah.
They've changed the set design on some of them. I don't know.
It's because
Oh, really?
some of them are in places where they can't do that.
So I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon. There are still tickets available. You can buy the regular tickets, or you can buy the Ticketmaster tickets, which are $200 more for the exact same ticket.
how
in the pit.
nice of them.
Official. I feel like I know if you go back in time, we have like an old "Screw You" Ticketmaster. I believe was the
We
episode.
do, yes.
Yes.
Also, ironically, about Backstreet Boys, I think it was actually the DNA tour, wasn't it? Or do you think it was before that?
What, the Ticketmaster
The
episode?
Screw You Ticketmaster one.
Yeah, no, we were trying to buy DNA tickets.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Not much has changed.
Still, not much has changed.
No, the ticket buying process was much easier. We just didn't get to go to the
This one,
concert.
this one was surprisingly like less because we went for pit. So we were doing Toronto and we're doing Darien Lake.
Yes.
Hopefully Lydia will be able to catch one of the shows or something. So we'll see what we can do there.
I'm put.
Yes.
But happier, so it's okay.
Well, there you go.
Mhm.
So we held on to the tickets this entire time, and we
Yes.
were rightly rewarded for this by getting a what is it called again? An NFT.
That's nice.
So yeah, it was a
Look
little.
at you guys, crypto.
Yeah, we all got the
Maniacs.
same one.
Lydia.
But you hear like such bad things about NFTs and crypto now.
Yes.
You enjoy crypto, or you were
do.
interested in learning
I
about it?
am, yes.
Would an NFT that every thousands and thousands of people have the exact same one be worth anything?
Technically, no, because you've watered down the market. But if my calculations are correct, when the Backstreet Boys expire, something kind of like the Beatles, they'll be like, oh my god, they were the greatest boy band of all time. Then those NFTs will be worth it if we're still around, if the world hasn't collapsed in on itself. So it's more of a waiting game at this point.
Okay, but the NFT is of a video that is readily available on YouTube.
Yes, but you own the NFT, you don't own the YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think nobody really. But anyways,
We'll see how that works out.
The thing they
It'll be
did
interesting.
do though
Yeah.
with these NFTs is that I believe it was 6 people got special NFTs,
Ooh.
Yes, I do believe that is correct.
and then they got meet and greets and stuff. However, that was so yeah. Hopefully that's
That was
still-
last year.
Yeah. So that's still there. Let us go. Can you still see us?
Yeah.
Okay. Some weird thing just popped up. So
I'm gonna put the mouse
Okay.
over here so
There
that
we
way
go.
you
Yes.
because you keep talking and touching it. So
sorry.
I'm gonna
Sorry
put it
for
right
touching
here.
mouse. Glad we're still here.
Okay.
Anyway, so to get people excited about the DNA tour that is kicking off sometime in June, which I cannot recall the right date.
There's your phone.
I
You
want
may
to
look.
say 6th, but I could be
Yes.
wrong.
So the boys
Something
just
around
finished
that
doing
time.
something in Mexico. So that's
It was a
exciting.
festival in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got like an outdoor festival type thing.
Yeah, it was one of those like,
Yes.
really big festivals. Hundreds.
I think someone was saying it was like 50,000 people there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good
Tons of
Lord!
people.
Wow. I would never expect to see that.
Okay,
at a
so the
outdoor
North
festival.
American
But
tour kicks off on June 4th at Chula Vista, California,
Woo.
and kind of makes its way around the West Coast, LA, all that jazz, Phoenix, and then it kind of makes its way across the country till it comes to us. So,
And then they also added more dates.
They did add
like
some more
September, October, November. I think till December.
and then they also added some.
Dare
more
they
European
play
dates.
some Christmas music at the December one?
I don't think so. really.
There's no dates in December. There's some in November.
Oh, okay.
People are still suspecting that they're keeping the end of November and December to do Christmas shows.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
So.
They won't.
North American one ends right now in Oklahoma City on September 14th.
Okay.
Then October 3rd, they head to Lisbon, Portugal. They go Spain.
That'd be nice.
They go
Germany. Germany
Paris,
sold out like so
France.
many, right?
Das Germans, yes.
Yeah, so Paris, France, Amsterdam,
Yeah.
and then Cologne, Berlin, Hanover, Mannheim, Munich.
That's so fun.
So a whole bunch of Germany, and then Bologna, Italy.
Yeah.
Then back to Hamburg, Germany for 2 dates. Then to Zurich, Switzerland. Then apparently to Poland.
Okay.
Then back to Germany again for a couple more dates. Hungary, London, so quite. And then then that ends right now November 10th. I think that's Belgium, Antwerp, BE. Is that Belgium?
Yeah.
I think so. And then in January of 2023, that's when they kind of do South America.
Oh, okay,
So they got,
that's what I meant.
so they got
Germany.
Brazil,
Oh, Brazil.
and then they have Australia, and do they go to New Zealand?
Those were
so
the
that-
ones that were postponed like 2 times
Those were
already.
postponed a lot. So yeah.
Yeah.
Right now they have dates up until March of 2023. So quite a bit going on. Good for them.
Yeah.
So it should be good. It is a very good tour. It's a very
Yes.
good show. So if you can see it, I suggest you do. It's lovely.
I think it's like 32 songs in the set list. That's like the most they've ever done, I believe.
Mhm. So obviously it was put out for their DNA album as most tours, but then obviously they have all their classic songs as well. They have that really good medley that you like.
That's a good medley.
So
Yeah.
yes, that we all liked. But
Yes.
so it was good. So in Ottawa we did a meet and greet, and then in Toronto we did the Howie VIP. So that was fun.
Which
And
one am I? Which one am I?
So,
Oh, when he did that musical?
we didn't go to the musical, but yes, he was talking. It was songs for the musical.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay. I remember.
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it was fun. I think that's actually where we met Robin Allen for the first time.
Oh,
One of
yeah.
our listeners. So there you go. So Yes. All right. So, do we want to talk about this video kind of docu-series, what we call it?
Yeah, I think it's a documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 episodes long.
So we had 5 episodes with each of the
6
boys.
minutes in length.
Yeah, they're about 6-ish minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, each of them. So they're nice little short ones. And they, so each one is an individual
Rich and
member,
Tone interview them.
Can you tell us who Rich and Tone is?
Explain Rich and Tone to Lydia.
He used to be a dancer on the Millennium Tour. And then as like time went on, they became bigger. And like they direct like shows. They did Michael Jackson.
Is that two people? Rich
Rich and Tone are 2 people.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought Rich and Tone was the one person. Like he had a fancy name.
No,
Rich and
they're
Tone.
brothers.
They're brothers.
Okay, they're both dancers?
Yes.
Rich and Tone Taluega?
Taluega?
Talauega.
Taluega?
Taluega?
Probably
They are
Taluega.
choreographers.
Oh, the choreographers.
Yes.
Okay, so they
So
started
they also were all dancers, yeah,
Okay, and then
on the
it's like
Millennium Tour.
when the what's it called? The grasshopper becomes the sensei, right? They're
Yes.
like, I was on the
Because
Millennium
they're
Tour."
so good, right? So they're like, okay,
Yeah,
let's be like a direct. So they directed like
That's what they look
the Michael Jackson show,
Ooh,
I believe, in Vegas.
wow.
Yeah.
So it says Rich and Tone, so R&T.
Okay, wait. Rich,
Rich
comma,
And
and
Tone.
I think Tone, it might be short for Tony, but I could
okay.
be wrong.
Who's Rich and who's Tone? If you,
I don't.
show so
You got a
show
50
So-
chance.
the one that we were watching on the YouTube is Rich.
Rich.
So if you remember,
he was the one interviewing everybody. Tone
Yes.
did not.
Tone is the other guy.
Tone is like the
Rich and
producer?
Tone are one of the most sought after creative teams in Hollywood
Oh.
and a driving force behind top live shows, major tours, primetime television, and acclaimed films. So they do lots of stuff.
They directs.
Oh wow.
Here, I'll give you a quick little about.
So they started with
Evolving from dancers to choreographers and then to creative directors, producers, and now directors, Rich and Tone are proprietors of Rich and Tone Productions, which creates, produces, and collaborates on the making of television, film, live events, stage shows, and tours. There's another picture of them if you are watching.
Who is Rich? The one on the left? This?
I think Rich is the one who's in the front.
Yes,
But again, it's
I
a
think
50-50
so.
chance of getting that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
All I know is Rich is the one who interviewed them, and
Okay.
Tone is his brother.
I see. Okay.
Yes, they were also at the Backstreet Boys movie premiere that we were at. So they've been involved with Backstreet Boys for a very long time.
Okay.
I believe you said from the Millennium
Yes,
Tour.
the Millennium Tour, yeah.
Because I'm like, who is this random guy?
Oh, here's a really quick. As teenagers, Rich and Tone were discovered by Michael Jackson's choreographer
Yeah.
while freestyling at a club in Oakland, California. Within a year, Rich and Tone were on their way to becoming legendary dancers and choreographers, having toured with both Diana Ross and Michael Jackson within months of moving to LA.
So that's like
Can I
full
just move
circle
to LA?
because they directed Michael Jackson the musical in Vegas.
Ooh, wow.
See?
This is what happens. Like you walk down the street and like you sneeze and someone's like, I like that sneeze. You want to be in the next Marvel video? And they're like, okay.
So
You're pulling my leg, Sheeran.
Ah,
they've done a lot of
Ed
really cool
Sheeran loves
stuff.
your look. Do you want your own fashion label? Yes, please. I'm just tying my shoe. Back in LA.
They choreographed
Okay. Anyways, go ahead.
Michael Jackson's The Immortal World Tour and the Cirque du Soleil Michael Jackson 1.
Ooh,
Mm.
Now
that
did
was a good
that.
one.
The list of
Full
artists seeking
circle there.
collaboration.
Woo!
So here's some of the artists they've collaborated with: Madonna, Miley Cyrus, Jennifer Lopez, Usher, Chris
Woo!
Brown, Robin Thicke, Gwen Stefani, Christina Aguilera, Kylie Minogue, Missy Elliott, Black
Amazing.
Eyed Peas, The Backstreet Boys, Monica Pink, and Dirty Vegas.
It's all like the best people on this
Except for-
planet.
I love that they always like call the Backstreet Boys like icons, legends. They always like
Yeah.
say those
Yeah.
words. I'm like,
They
that's
are the
awesome.
creative directors of Madonna's MDNA World Tour in 2012, as well as her Super Bowl halftime show performance.
I don't know if that's one to
Madonna.
brag about.
I don't know. So look, Miley Cyrus. They've been nominated for numerous MTV Music Video Awards for videos such as Chris Brown's Fine China, Jennifer Lopez Get Right, Madonna's Sorry in 4 Minutes, as well as Chris Brown Wall to Wall and Forever. They also received an Emmy nomination for their work on the 2005 NAACP Image Awards. And so there you go.
But well done.
They have the NAACP is?
What is that, like a basketball or something?
No.
That's NCAA.
Oh, okay. What was the one that you were talking about?
It's like I don't know what all the words stand for, so I'm not even going to attempt to guess, but it's like some kind of association that is for like minorities and like making sure they're represented in the entertainment industry. They have like the Image Awards. They're like a very well-known.
Yeah, so they're very big. So,
So Rich and Tone, who I'm like, who are these randoms?
So they're like the choreographer and I believe the creative directors of the DNA tour.
Very good.
Yes. They brought them in to help their vision
come to life.
Yes.
All right. So do you want to kind of just so first
the first episode. Go ahead.
Yes. Sophia, lead us, please.
Lead the way, Sophia.
We're going to lean on you a lot.
The first episode was with AJ. And then Rich was asking him, like, how did you put the show together? How do you feel about it? And then AJ was saying they should all be proud for putting a great show together. It's hard to come up with, like, ideas, so it's good to have, like, a collaborative effort to put the show together.
So AJ's was more focused on the dance aspect of the DNA tour.
I see. Okay. Because I feel like everyone had their own topic, right?
Yes. Yeah. So he kind of asked a lot of questions about dance and stuff like that.
So then he was like asking like the process and the message of their dancing was like so seamless. And then AJ was like, for them, it's great being a performer because not the new or boy bands are about singing mostly, but not about dancing. But the boys
unless they're BTS, but
Yes.
Yeah, because I think AJ mentioned, like, he's like, well, eventually we're gonna come to a time where we're not going to be able to dance because they'll be too old. But he's like, for now, we're still kicking it, and like, I like it. I like even like a little dance move. An attempt is nice. You know what I mean? When I went to One Direction, I was so
it was really boring.
Yeah.
So give the example of the Eagles, where the Eagles like are sitting down and they're just singing and like playing the guitar or whatever. So that will be eventually what they do. But AJ's like, not yet. We still have, energy to do the dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I like that.
Sorry. And then they have like a formula that works for them. They're like showmanship. They sing live and dance. And that's very hard to do at the same time. And not all groups do that.
Yeah, he was like, live, we sing live. Like, he made like a very
he made a point to say that,
which is
and then they have songs that show off their voices because like they settle it down a little because you can't dance for 2 hours straight because you're like gonna die basically.
Yes, totes.
So they like to like
death by dancing.
So they have like Breathe, Don't Want to Lose You Now, I'll Never Break Your Heart. They like show their vocals in that one.
I would say it was a bit of a distraction because like they're talking and like I hear Backstreet Boys song in the background. I'm like, oh,
so
and I'm
like singing along to the song.
And I'm singing along to the song. I'm like, I'm not listening to the interview. Shit.
Yeah. So essentially, it was them. They were kind of like in a Zoom interview type thing.
Yeah.
And then they were showing clips of stuff over the years,
like older clips. I like that. That was nice.
You could hear the music and stuff.
Yeah.
At one point, AJ said the best dance that they did is Undone. That was his favorite one, even though it's not complicated. He said it's very simple, but he just really liked the way that they do that one.
Yes, and he said that the lights light up, so that helps as well.
Oh, the microphone stands light up, and he's like, if they didn't light up, then this song would just be boring. But
what song is that? I can't think.
Sometimes simple is better.
Did they even do that on DNA though?
I don't remember.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
That's what he was.
That was in the Vegas show.
I don't know.
The Vegas show was based on DNA, wasn't it?
No.
It's not?
The ones that they did in April were the DNA show, but their original Vegas show was not the DNA show.
Do you want to look up the set list just in case?
I thought they did.
Which
maybe.
I
one
thought
did
so
we go
too,
to?
but
We
we'll
went
be
to
meshing it
both.
together.
Did I go to
True.
both?
Yeah.
Yes,
We went to Vegas in 2019.
And with your mom?
Yeah. And we went to the Vegas show.
Yeah.
And then we went to DNA in Toronto.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I thought you said we went to 2 Vegases. I'm like, I don't remember going to Vegas.
No.
Undone is on the list as number
Yeah.
one.
Why don't I remember it?
It's been a while since we've seen that
There's
show.
33 songs on
I
the
guess so, eh?
31 songs plus 2 encore songs.
31 songs.
So
God
it's pretty
bless him.
good.
Holy shit. That's longer than a Hanson album.
So then he was
So-
like, in the moment, he loves like hearing the fans scream. He takes out the inner ear out to hear the screams,
That makes sense because
to feel it. Because sometimes when you have the inner ear, you don't hear that.
True.
So yeah, he likes to take it out, hear it, feel it, and that helps him during the show.
Yeah.
that makes more sense than my note, which looks like it says tax ear out.
Takes the ear out. Oh, yeah.
Takes the ear. So he takes his inner ear out. Yes.
And then they like showed fans appreciation. They're like, thank you to the fans. They're the ones who got us here. Without their support, they wouldn't be here. They're
straight.
loyal to the core. They're very forgiving.
I appreciated that part. I thought that was funny. Like, yes, okay.
Yeah.
Christmas
you.
album.
We forgive you when you promise things and don't deliver Christmas album.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was basically the gist of it. And they ended on that note for that episode after thanking the fans. Did I miss anything? Feel free to include anything that I missed.
Any thoughts, Dee?
No. I watched this like 7-8 weeks ago. I barely
shit.
remember it.
Okay. No worries.
Because they released one episode a week, right? Was that how it
Yes,
worked?
yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's cute. Okay.
To kind of hype people up.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay,
Alright.
that makes sense.
All right, moving
All
on.
right.
to
Episode number 2 is Brian.
And they're talking about music.
Which is
Music.
ironic because his voice is dying. We all.
Although this one, you could hear him a little bit better.
Yeah.
I felt like I'm like maybe because I haven't actually like listened to them talk in a while, because it's been a while, obviously. But
Yeah.
like his voice sounded a bit rough, right?
Yeah,
Am I
Yeah.
crazy there?
Yeah.
No, you're
It
right.
sounded very like gravelly and like.
But a little bit better.
But then I was
don't
just
know.
like,
Maybe
is
I'm
this how
dumb.
Brian normally sounds? Like, I know
No.
he had issues with like singing vocals, but I thought his talking vocals were fine. But
I guess it's in and out. I believe it's in and out. Even the talking part.
That's like the saddest thing ever, man. But imagine becoming like super famous and then your voice just dies on you. That's shit, man. Becoming a mute. It's not
Adele
cool.
had that problem too.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think
Did
she
he?
had surgery, or was it Adele? Maybe it was somebody else. I don't know.
I don't know.
Damn, that sucks. But I heard I could hear him struggling, which was like kind of hurtful on the heart a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was for sure. Okay. Sorry.
Right.
Wait. Okay, so
Diane was about to say something.
oh, sorry, Dee, go ahead.
It's fine. It's not important. Go ahead.
No, I was.
No, it's very
I was just-
important. Go ahead.
I was looking at our names and how they're backwards. Sorry, that's Shinzuya.
Oh shit!
That's okay.
Why are our names back?
I don't know.
It's not backwards for me.
Oh,
It is for me.
damn it. Oh well, it's okay.
Well, that's why we introduced ourselves at the beginning.
Exactly.
All right. Crisis averted. Okay. Anyways, go ahead. Someone,
Okay.
please.
Me?
Someone talk.
Diane.
Oh, I was just going to say, I don't know. I was just going to say that I don't think it's all a physical issue.
No.
I think they even discussed in the documentary how some of it is like an anxiety-based thing.
Oh, is it?
So like when he
Mhm.
gets nervous about speaking in front of a lot of people, that's when you hear the cracking. And a lot of the times, like you might even notice in this thing that it starts off really bad and then progressively gets better.
It's true.
Mhm.
Yes, I did notice that.
So then it's like, because I guess
Just
he's
gotta warm
nervous
it
to
up.
like start talking.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it sounds like more rough. And then as he like gets more comfortable, it comes
Yeah.
normally. And I think they said that's even with the singing, right? Like when he has to perform in front of a lot of people, like he doesn't do as well as like if he's just like practicing at home.
Yeah.
I had never thought that could be an issue, but yeah, like it's interesting to hear about them having anxiety because you're a Backstreet Boy, like you're like the king shit. You have anxiety, I have anxiety, and I'm a lonely pan.
I think
Howie
it's
also
different.
talked about having anxiety too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more like, imagine like, okay, you're good at cooking, okay? But then something happens to your stove and you never know like if it's going to work or if it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Right? So now every time you're expected to cook, you're going to be like, "Oh god, is this stove going to work?"
Yeah. That's true.
Right? And then maybe you just fuck up because you're so nervous about like, is the stove going to heat up? Like, is this actually going to like cook my chicken or is it not?
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Like
so
anytime I
then
make
you are just making yourself screw up versus like the tool actually not working.
True.
Mhm.
True.
I don't think it's like, oh my god, I'm so like you get in your head because of something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're like, I burnt
And
the thing.
And it just goes to show, like, even though you're famous or you're like have a great career, you're human, right? Everyone gets anxiety. Everyone has something going on with them, a problem.
I was gonna say like when I make my burgers, so it was like these are the best burgers ever. So I was like, okay, and then I like start panicking. I'm like, oh my god, what if I forget all the ingredients and I don't know what I'm doing, even though it's the same.
It's always the same.
Essentially thing, but then
It
I get
tastes
really
damn
panicked,
delicious
especially if
every
like a
time.
new person is going to be trying the burgers or I haven't made them yet for the season, the first like burger thing of the season.
Mm.
We should make some burgers.
You can make burgers for me anytime.
Good.
They're always
Yes.
good.
Delicious. I know a lot of people are all purists about, oh, it's just meat and salt, but I'm like, no.
She's got a blending.
I
thing
got a
going.
There's
blend
a
of this
process
person.
for this.
Don't
They're
reveal your
delicious.
secrets. Shh.
Okay, no one's having. I'm not shipping burgers to people.
Okay, tell me.
It's essentially more like making a meatball or something. I use the Ninja or Magic Bullet to like blend up vegetables and put it in there. Then there's also breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese and other stuff. Delish. But carry on with
Very
Brian's music. Has nothing to do with that. So.
Okay, so go back to Brian and his voice.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
he-
So
That,
Go ahead.
thank you for explaining that to me, D, because I didn't know that I didn't know anxiety played a part in his voice. I just thought like it was
Well,
breaking.
we just rewatched the documentary recently, and I feel like that kind of refreshed that. Because for some
Mhm.
reason, I thought it was just a physical thing. I didn't realize it was also kind of
a mental thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's just
so-
like hence the reason why you hear it when he talks sometimes as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
All right. So take us back on track. With
Okay.
episode 2. What happened? What else happened?
Okay, so then he was like, it's like they're blessed to have like longevity, but the music is where it's at. That's where it starts. If you don't have the music, then you have nothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then
They are a musical
Yeah.
group, so
and then like I said, if we didn't have music, we wouldn't have anything. Then they talk about like how the sound came to be. At first, the sound they were making like that great of music, but then they met Max Martin and Dennis Pop. Then they went to Sweden, and then that was like, okay, this is the song,
Yeah.
or this is the sound that they're going to use going forward.
I like that. Dennis Pop didn't realize he was dead. Oops. That sucks.
Dennis Pop died during like Show Me the Meaning, did he not?
I think it was like 96, 97.
Like he died a while
Yeah.
ago. It is like he's
Yeah.
dead. I'm
He's
like,
dead?
yes.
Yeah.
No.
I think that
What's
was the
his name
video
on
that,
the
yeah,
that video?
yeah, they were like, this is in memory of Dennis Pop.
But I think he died in like 99 or 2000.
Oh, I can't
Chenzio
remember.
will prove you wrong.
Why did I think it was 97, 98?
Well,
All right,
why would they make a
guys.
song like years later?
So Dennis Pop is this
That's
blonde
true.
fellow that you cannot see because it's really blurry.
He looks
AF.
like Taylor Hanson.
He looks like somebody else. I don't remember who.
Oh no,
Maybe a
sorry,
little bit
Rip,
like
Rip
Meatloaf.
Dennis. Don't mean to make fun of you.
He died August 30th, 1998. He
Huh.
was born in 60.
Split
he
the
died-
difference. You
he
guys said
died-
96, 97. I said 99, 2000. 98 is bang in the middle.
There we
What's
go.
now
He
going
was
over?
only 35 years old, guys.
Oh shit!
That's-
We
he
got
had
the
cancer, right?
up. He had cancer.
He died of stomach cancer at the age of 35.
sucks. Oh, that sucks.
The Backstreet Boys' Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely and Jessica Folker's song A Little Bit were both dedicated to him. E-Type, remember E-Type?
E-Type, yes.
Album Last Man Standing commemorates him. And Britney Spears dedicated her award for Best Song at the 99 MTV European Music Video Awards to him.
That's so nice. Oh, that's so
So
nice.
yes, he definitely worked with a lot of artists for sure. So
So then he was saying like those two really were the right people to make their sound what it is today. And then they helped set the foundation. And that's why you continue to love their music, because like that was the foundation of it. It's grown and grown.
Sound. They defined a sound.
Good sound. If it's living on 30 years later, great job, Dennis and Max.
Those are classic songs.
Max Martin, if you will.
Yes.
Tickle the balls.
Yes.
Tickling Max Martin's balls.
Yeah, we have a Max Martin episode if you want to go back and listen to that somewhere.
It's beautiful.
So then he was saying like the one song that was like a sleeper song for them was like Quit Playing Games. It was their first #1 song.
Yeah.
That was interesting because I didn't realize that Brian did the whole vocals for that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
He's told this story like 10 times.
Oh, okay.
Maybe-
Apparently, I was just like, oh, this is a new story.
I thought it was a new
No, that's an old
I was like,
story.
here we go with the Quit Playing Games story.
Yes. And then the label were like, oh no, we want Nick to sing the second verse.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Brian is clearly bitter about it still to this day.
Yeah, Brian is bitter about a few things, so it's not
Well, 'cause
really.
he said he was down at 3 a.m. recording, and I'm like,
In the dungeon.
In the dungeon, I'm like, he's like, just me and this guy. I'm like,
It was all like,
I'm like,
ears
he's
perking
she's
up.
gonna get hot.
And then, yeah,
Did not.
Oh my god. Yeah, and then he was.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then he was like, songs live forever. People connect to it. The impact the songs made when they first started out, people enjoy it still to this day. He said that music is the vibration of the soul, and everyone has a soul. And if you can't connect to that, you have issues.
Except for
And
No soul.
Jeff Bezos has no soul. Anyway,
Jeff.
and they ended it on that note.
Bezos.
And then we're going to episode 3 with Howie D.
All right, Howito.
Oh,
So what was Howie's main focus?
And then, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. No, you first.
No, main focus. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You have it on the list. Why aren't you looking at the list?
because I stopped writing it down, but I believe Howie's main focus was the guys as a group.
Yeah, the relationship. So, Rich,
I don't know
oh my
why I
God, my favorite question. Do you guys ever argue? Do you guys hate each other right off the bat?
Yeah.
Howie's always like, yeah.
And then Howie was like, then Howie was like, they love each other. They fight like brothers. Sometimes they'll go down and dirty fighting, but in the end, they all want to win.
But then he also said, I don't think I would treat my real brothers that bad. It's like, wow.
Yeah, and then he was like, communication is key for them. That's why they've still with the group together for after 29 years, because they communicate, they lay it all on the table. There's like no secrets.
And that they have different limitations as well. Like,
Yeah.
some people will do much more. The other one's like, nope, we're stopping here. And the other one's like, oh, keep doing this. And you're like,
Everyone has their enough button. Something is different for Howie than it is for Brian.
Yeah, which is nice. I kind of wonder what it would be like to be a fly on the wall in like a Backstreet argument. I know we saw it.
We saw it.
But like, I like their. I don't know how to say this nicely. I like.
You like when they fight?
I like their arguments better than Carter versus Carter. I feel like that's a little bit more scary.
those ones stress me out.
I know, and I'm like, come on, man. Like, there's no resolution to like you being fucking insane, Aaron. You know, like, I just feel like.
How do you really feel?
I don't know. Sometimes the fighting with the boys, I don't know why it's funny, but it makes me laugh. Sometimes I don't know why, but I don't know.
Yes. Well, you know.
I'm like, where's she going with this? Okay.
They truly love each other, so they
do. They really do.
And then they said, like, when they were doing the Unbreakable and This Is Us album, they could have like stopped right there because it was just the 4 of them. But they're like, no, let's keep going. They stuck it out. Their bond was stronger because of it. Yeah.
There was a
They-
thought that I had at that point because I was just like, actually, because if you think about the whole Kevin leaving the band thing,
He was in his
it was
like
not really a
skirt
fight.
wearing
Like
moment.
it was what?
It was during like his like skirt wearing days, I think, wasn't it?
Okay.
I don't know. I can't remember.
At least the story has never been told to us this way, but to me, it sounded like he just needed a break and he wanted to spend time with his family. It wasn't like a fuck you guys, I hate the Backstreet Boys.
True.
Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Like I
He
don't
was
think
not
that-
inspired anymore, like he said.
Exactly. And I think that's interesting. Like, of course, we don't know all of the behind the scenes stuff. So probably some of them were probably like, what the fuck, man? You can't leave. It's going to break up the band or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know if this actually
You trying to
happened.
Justin Timberlake?
But
Kevin,
But
by
he
the way, would
wasn't
not be
because
able to.
he wasn't going for music. He was
Really.
going for acting.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
sorry.
Oh, Vampire
Sorry, I
Bert.
just-
Oh.
Vampire
But
Bats.
Howie did say this, like, he gave like everyone has like their own thing that they can do within the group or out of the group as well, right? Like you do solo stuff and then you can come back and that helps you in the group as
The
well.
door is essentially always open.
Yes.
Yeah.
For you to there.
I guess that's good. I mean, like, if you think about it this way, right? Like, they're going on uncharted territory here. When you think of boy bands, a lot of them break up, right?
Mhm.
Like remember like the Beatles and like the guy was dating Yoko Ono and he's like, peace out, losers, right? And then he got
John Lennon.
good, right? Yeah. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so like there hasn't ever been a successful band that was like, let's just go in separate ways and come back. And I feel like Backstreet's done that very successfully. I mean, New Kids took a break to do real estate and, be gay, but
What?
like that's
Okay.
the reason why.
They also took a break, 25 years or however long it was.
Yeah,
12 years,
yeah.
15 years. Yeah.
But like
years.
Backstreet never really did. Like I
No.
feel like their communication must be top notch because like they're still going.
But what I thought was interesting, remember we were watching the documentary
Mhm.
when Brian and Nick had that fight. Brian said he didn't talk to Nick for a year.
Yeah.
And yet
That's
they were
true.
still doing their shit as a band together. And so he kind of put it aside for the greater thing of the band, but they didn't hang out or whatever.
Okay.
So
Was
Which I
that
think-
when they were still doing shit as a band, though?
were they?
I think there was a time.
Because they
I think that was during off time.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was off time, yeah.
Because they were
Yeah.
off from about 2003 to 2005.
But they didn't break up though. They were just off.
No, and then they didn't break up, and in fact, I believe they've said this, that Brian, like all of them except Nick, were in there recording an album, and they couldn't get Nick to come in and like do his parts, and everyone was pissed at him.
Yeah.
And
That's when they
I'm
docked his
thinking that
face.
was the time, and then they just scrapped that entire album and did Never
Yeah.
Gone instead.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So this was when Nick was doing some solo-y stuff?
No, this was when Nick was doing some questionable stuff.
Yes, and
drug
dating,
stuff.
Yes.
Some Paris Hilton stuff.
Some like, House of Carter stuff.
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah. This was
mhm.
the dark times.
You know what? I this makes me a horrible person.
Yes. Here we go.
But even though I have it autographed, I have never read Nick's biography.
He said he didn't write it though.
He didn't
Who
write it.
said
Yeah,
he
he
didn't write
did.
it?
He wrote
I
it.
thought you said he didn't write it.
No, he did.
Am I thinking of Burt Ward?
If you read it, you would know he wrote it.
Oh, grammatical errors and plot holes.
You know what, guys? That's going to be my goal this year is to finally read, what is it? Facing
Love him to
Music?
death. Sorry, love him to death, but
Is there an audiobook?
Maybe.
If there's an audiobook, that's easy to digest.
So remind me to remind you about.
no,
I'll-
I would suggest reading it because at least if you're reading it, you can just
Ooh, maybe I could do a dramatic reading of it.
We could
put it down and walk away
Laugh
from
a
it.
little bit.
I feel like if you're listening to it, like, and you're in the car, like, I suppose you could turn it off, but I just feel like
Guys!
We could
What?
devoice the audiobook.
Okay, well, yeah, so I was thinking that. Or
don't we need licensing for that?
Oh.
we go listen to our Girl About Town, which was the O-Town one. It's a two-parter. That's a few episodes back. We read that not all of it. Most
Shelly
of
was
it.
like, let me just hit the important parts. Every page. has a
Okay,
book.
there was a lot of good parts in that book. And somebody actually
True.
just asked where she could get it in our comments. And I'm like, well, You
Yeah,
can't.
but who's going to come after you
Exactly.
So
for that one?
No,
who's
what
dead?
I'm saying
So
about the Nick one, I wasn't
who's
saying
dead?
specifically to do it on the podcast. I'm saying we have a boy band road trip coming up.
No, Chinzia, I'll kill myself. I will blow my
Ah!
brains out.
Gee, you're
It's not good. Yes,
Really?
it's bad.
So does he talk about these times, or is he just giving life advice, or what is the?
You.
I feel like
Let's talk about this another
Okay,
time.
let's get back to
Okay,
this.
okay,
Okay, so
okay.
sorry. So were we talking about Brian and the music, or were we?
No, we
this is
Alright.
Howie.
Howie.
Okay.
I like how he mentioned that he has anxiety too. That was nice. You mentioned that earlier.
Yes.
But
Yes.
that's
So
nice.
then they're saying like their bond is like what makes them stronger now because they went through like trials and tribulations. They've achieved their success. They know now that they're in control of their own destiny. They don't need to go as hard as they did when they were in the beginning. Obviously, they're still working hard and that kind of thing, but now they're like, okay, we're in control now. Nobody's in control of us.
Yes, I like that. That is a good
Very
feeling. We'll
Yes.
say.
And then he was like, yes, I have anxiety of like sometimes not remembering dance moves or like song lyrics. But he said he needs those nerves to keep him on his toes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when he's comfortable, he messes up. And then the boys are like, hey, Howie, you messed up. And
Are you
then
still with us?
he's like,
I've been doing
I
this
was,
for so long, and I'm in South
Yes.
America, and I'm like messing up on stage.
yes, exactly. And then he was saying like Brian said, they can move mountains with their voices together.
Mm-hmm.
They've grown up together. They've grown up with fans. Like I said, Rich was always saying like the word icons because they're like iconic band. They're legends. And then Howie's like very humble about this because they're like, oh, we don't see it like you see it, but we're thankful that you always say it and it motivates us to sing, to dance, and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
And then the last one before it went to the next episode was a Grammy would be something they would like to achieve still because 9 nominations, although great, they have not won. And then that time would be the one where they're like, okay, we finally made it.
That would be nice.
Damn it,
Give him
Santana.
a jam and gravy. Give him a Grammy.
Yeah.
I almost felt like it was kind of like a kick to the groin that the Grammys did that whole like thing with them. Like they had a whole exhibit with the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
And they were just like, oh, come spend money and look at this Backstreet Boys stuff. But they've never run a Grammy. Like, I don't know.
You think that year they would have been like, well, what do we got here?
They had like don't go breaking my heart. I think that
They
one would
got
have done it.
nominated again? Yeah.
Yeah,
after
Don't
so
Go
many
Breaking My Heart.
years.
Yeah.
I think so.
Don't Go Breaking My Heart.
They didn't win, but
They got
Was that
nominated.
Grammy worthy?
Not really.
Well, they thought so because they got nominated.
What did they lose to that time?
Shallow.
Shallow.
Oh,
well,
shit, yeah.
There was no
Okay.
way that they weren't.
There's no way. That's like was such a great song in that time.
Oh yeah, wonderful song.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of
What I should say, it was the most popular song at that time.
Yes.
That is true. It definitely got, as Lydia said in our previous, the airplay and all that jazz.
Definitely got all the airplay.
Yes.
Send me something good. You're like, you're like, I love it, but I also hate it the more I listen to it.
Because they always play it, right? Like, how many times you're gonna play it? Like once in a
That's
while, okay, but like if you're gonna overplay it, then you're gonna like hate the song.
It's like eating chocolate cake all the time. You're like, this is great. I can't admit you. Yeah. Like Mrs.
But yeah, no, I
Trunchbull.
like that because Howie, the anxiety thing, that was one of the stories he told us when we did the Howie meet and greet in Toronto.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he does get those anxious anxiety butterfly things, but that's pretty much the only way he could perform.
Yeah.
And then he also like sometimes will second guess himself and be like, am I worth it? Like to be in the group and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, and remember in the documentary, they were talking about how Howie was the lead singer and all the time. And then when they got their new sound, then they're like, yeah, I'm sorry, Howie. You're just kind of like, everyone in the background, throw you in the background. So
yeah,
I always feel for Howie. So for sure.
Yeah.
And like on the first cruise, when so the first cruise, Kevin wasn't back yet, so they asked.
That was
this is, like,
good.
one of my favorite lines.
Yeah.
This was like one of the things that made me fall for Howie, and I'm like, oh,
This was
Howie.
funny.
Because they're just like, so with Kevin not being in the group, like, how is that different? And then Howie goes, I get to sing.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, Howie.
My favorite is that you always do like a high pitch for Howie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He doesn't sound
I
like
just
that.
like, he's just like an adorable little man. And
Oh
it's
my
just
god,
like-
it's so great.
yeah, so go. Kudos.
Okay,
Howie.
so episode 4 is now with Kevin.
Woot woot.
And quick
So-
note, we watched it on double speed because we were running out of time, and Kevin sounded normal. So that must mean that he was very slow. during
Rich
his-
is like, blah, 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 blah. And Kevin's like, well, the thing is, blah, 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 blah. And
And
we're
we're
just like, oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, it's pretty
That
funny.
is, I love Kevin to bits.
Yeah, I
Love
know.
him. He's such a sweet man. He's very engaging. He looks you in the eye when he talks to you. He has
was-
moments.
the mom's
But, like,
favorites.
If he was an animal, I would put him as like a sloth.
Yeah, totally.
Because he's just
Or a
like,
snail.
Oh, hello.
Yeah,
I'm
totally.
like, love you, Kev. Don't come at me, Kevin girls, but you know that.
We love Kevin so much.
Slow as
Come on.
molasses.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
What
know,
was-
they know as well. Okay,
his
can I go on
episode-
for Kevin?
What was his thing?
Yeah, so Kevin.
Production side.
You're right. Go ahead. So lay
Which
this
I
Okay.
think was a very interesting episode. I like
Yeah,
it.
this was very interesting.
That's good.
So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
said, if you want to have success, you have to earn it. If you have to deserve it, right? You want it, so you deserve it because you earned it. If you didn't put in the work, you don't deserve it. For that show to be great. This was the production. So he said his favorite show. This is his favorite show since the Millennium Tour. So the DNA Tour is like, he loves it. It's a good representation of their legacy and the footprint of their entire career.
Would you guys agree? Do you feel that the DNA was one of their best shows, or what do you think?
No.
Yeah, I think it's on par with Millennium. But yeah, that's the one that I compared to because that's the one that I went to when I first started going to concerts, was that show, the Millennium show.
I feel like all the shows blend together for me, so I can't specifically say I like one more than the other. But Diane, I feel like you remember things.
I feel like it depends what you're talking about,
Mm.
right? Like, because everyone's going to have their own personal bias based on whatever they experienced during those particular shows. Like, there are people who loved the Unbreakable tour and the This Is Us tour because, like, even in a world like this, because they were just, like, more accessible at that time.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
people were having more, like, personal and engaging experiences. But, like, if you're talking production wise and, like, quality of the show itself, obviously those ones were lower budget.
Mhm.
Right, so they weren't as elaborate and whatnot as DNA is.
Which one was the one where they
So-
brought the girl on stage? Was that NKOTBSB?
And
What are you talking about?
Like when they
When they
bring
gave the
somebody
flower?
on stage to like sing to her. They've done that at a couple.
They've done that.
They've done that for a few different things. I think you're probably thinking of NKOTBSB,
So
but they've brought people on stage for multiple things. I'm pretty sure in a
and
world
then that
like
other
this was
tour,
the
yeah, they had
one
them all on the back
where you could like buy the VIP, where you like sat back there.
Mhm.
hmm So I feel like the DNA tour is definitely less personable because they're not bringing somebody on stage.
It goes back
but it's
to-
more polished.
Yeah.
Production wise and in terms of like feeling of whatever, it's definitely goes back to more of like a Millennium Black and Blue type of a show where like the budget is big. It's a big, like we're playing big arenas and whatnot and not just
Yeah.
like amphitheaters, because obviously in an amphitheater you can't put together
Yeah.
as much of a
Pyrotechnics
production.
and
You're
all that.
outside, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But when you're in, you know, arenas and bigger like venues like that, you can. And because of Vegas, they were able to do that
Mhm.
for DNA. So it was more of a Millennium Black and Blue type production of a show.
like a big budget, let's do this type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. But
So in that sense,
With-
he's saying, yeah.
with that, then comes less of that like intimate feel where you feel like you're connecting with them and whatever. It's more of a performance to a huge audience kind of
Yeah.
thing, which is I like. It's a better show for the people who are in the rafters,
Yeah.
but it depends what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
And not
Like it was a good
approaching.
show if you're in the pit, right? For DNA, if you're in the pit, it's a good show because you get them, touching your hands, like giving you eye contact, that kind of thing.
But how many people are experiencing that?
Well, I don't know.
Same
I experienced that, so that's why I was like, DNA is a pretty good show.
But again, that's personal bias, right?
Isn't
That's
every
personal bias
pit show a
because
good show?
Absolutely.
Sorry?
Isn't every pit show a good show? If you're in the pit, you got a good
Yeah, if you're in the pit, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I
Like,
thought
you would
Millennium
say
was
the
a good
same
show
thing.
as well, but I was all the way up there because I was like 11 years old.
that's what I'm saying.
So it
you would
depends,
say that like all the shows where you're in the pit, in a world like this, you're in the pit, you're getting interaction, right? Versus Lydia, who
Ooh.
usually is sitting further back,
Yeah.
doesn't have that,
Yeah.
that
What was
like,
the
oh,
part-
I really like this show because that's the show where like AJ grabbed my hand and like sang to me and whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So she can judge it more just based on quality of show.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember, I know
for
this
sure.
is not your experience, but do you remember what show I went to in Calgary? When that was, they were kind of had like a bit of a
Wasn't
date on the
it?
stage.
Wasn't it NKOTBSD?
Is that the
No,
one?
it wasn't. It was the one where Rosie got the VIP picture, and
That was in a world like this.
And then we're like this.
because Kevin was back. Because I
Yeah.
remember in the middle,
Oh,
of
okay.
the show, because I had made my mom a sign saying my daughter.
I was in a
dragged me
world
here.
like this.
And then he
Okay.
like literally in the middle of the song said like, "Are you having a good time? Are you?" She's like, "Yeah, it's great." Like whatever. So and then AJ came into the crowd. I believe that was the one where Brian jumps over the stage.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I was
Stage.
in a world like this.
So yeah. So like
Sometimes they mesh
for that
together.
one, the pit, and then when we were at Darien Lake for the pit, who was I standing with?
You were with Diane.
I was with Diane. We were trying to.
I was in
surprise
the
Sophia,
right pit, I
So-
think, and you were in the left, right? Or was I in the
Yes,
left and you
but
were in
we
the right?
didn't know what side they were in, and it was like a general admission pit. But then once you got there, they put you one side to the other. So we're like, we're going to sneak up on Sophia, and they're like, "Oh, here's your wristband." We're like, "Cool," and they're like, "Oh, no, sorry, you're on this side." We're like, "Oh, well." And it was funny, but where we were situated was right at the end of the stage. So like, AJ was like what 3 feet away from us, like, and he's like, we're holding up signs, we're doing all this stuff, and all the people around us are like, "Oh my god, they like know you." I'm like, "No, he's just coming for the signs." Like we had the rolling the dice, so it just like I feel like it definitely it's definitely more helpful to be in a pit if you can, because it's fun and more interaction. And I feel like now if I'm like stuck with nosebleeds, because we don't have tickets at the moment for the July 2nd show, but they had lawn seats, and we're like, okay, maybe we could do lawn seats. And I was like, no, we can't.
You're well
Like,
beyond lawn
I-
seats.
Yeah.
I could do lawn seats because, like, I'm poor. I'll set out a little blanket. Kenny
Even the
loves that.
100 section, you're like, oh, I don't know.
Although you're a little bit elevated over, but yeah.
Yeah.
But like, remember in Vegas, we were like 5th row out behind the tables, and I was like, this is the worst seats ever. Like, it was, and they're not. Except I'm short.
You're a snob.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. This makes me sound like a complete douchebag, but I just feel like
It's okay.
I like feeling like acknowledged that I'm there. I don't know.
Yeah. Once you go there, once you're getting acknowledged, you're like, no, I can't go back to
It
the
just
other way.
depends what you're looking for in the concert, right? Like
Right.
to
Yeah.
you, that's really important,
Yes.
right? But for other people, like that's not what they came to do.
I remembered my earlier point that I forgot when I started. Okay, so this big production Backstreet Boys thing is awesome, and I think it's awesome that they can still sell out these arenas and things for like 20,000 people and stuff like that, and put on this big posh show. But then you got like our little boys of O-Town, love them dearly, but their like production is literally just their laptop pressing play, which is like a step down from 98 Degrees, whereas a man pressing play on the laptop. But like, it's interesting to see that the Backstreet Boys can still draw in the giant crowds like that and can do this big production.
Mm.
Whereas like O-Town, you definitely feel more intimate and stuff, but like they even have VIP.
But they still put on a good show, so that's
But
good.
they
as
all
well.
put on great shows in different regards. But I'm like, I don't know if I could picture O-Town doing a big stadium tour now. like with the being in the like that would be cool if they could.
I think they could.
I think
Yeah.
they definitely could. Like I watch that live from New York all the time. So,
Maybe if they brought back Ashley.
I don't
they
think
could pack
Ashley
a
wants to come
stadium.
back, man.
Well, maybe he should because I miss him.
He's too busy being naked on Instagram.
He could do that on stage. That's okay.
Working
I think if
Broadway?
anything, Backstreet
Still
Boys is
Broadway?
a proof of concept that boy bands still sell,
Mhm.
and
Well,
even
even
fangirls got money now. So
Yeah, but you can't, in terms of like
catalog
notoriety and like song quality and popularity, you can't really compare Backstreet Boys to O-Town.
yeah,
because O-Town really before their big drop had 2 albums, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even
One really. I don't think.
O-Town in 02, remember?
Yeah, what's on O2 that was like a huge hit for them?
These Are the Days?
No.
Okay, I don't know. But yes, and even like In Sync, I have no
They could
qualms at
sell
all.
out.
They will definitely sell out.
they were 100%.
Yeah,
All
they
of them
could,
come
but
back.
again, it's about notoriety and about
Song
like
catalog, like you said.
song catalog and just like general like fame and like people knowing them, right? People know who NSYNC are.
Yeah.
We know who O-Town is, but there are even in North America, there are people who are like, who?
Yeah.
And if you're like, oh, the Liquid Dreams people, they'd be like, oh yeah. But like they couldn't tell you the names of who's in the group. They couldn't tell you like any other songs that they have, like whatever.
It's interesting, like the Lou bands got progressively less famous as he.
He ran
But
out
like
of
you
money.
ask people who's in NSYNC, they're like Justin Timberlake, Lance Batt, like they're more
guy with the
well-known
pineapple hair.
names.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Like tone.
Yeah.
The guy with the pineapple hair. Who we're going to see soon.
All right. So what episode were we on?
Okay,
Number
sorry.
5?
So can I finish?
Yes, please.
Okay. So then Rich asked Kevin what makes a great production show, and then Kevin was like listing down, saying the key elements are the sound has to sound great, the music, the mix, the arrangements of the songs, the lighting. They were saying like "Don't Want You Back" is amazing live.
Yeah.
The production of in that song with the lighting is really good. And then Kevin was like, each number should look different. Songs shouldn't look like the other song. They're not the same song, so they shouldn't be the same production. And
You
then
want like a Hanson situation where everything starts blending. So yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Well, and that's something again that you're going to appreciate more if you're not super close up.
yeah.
Right.
Because you can see
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Soph.
And then they were like, it's pure magic when the boys come together. And then Kevin was like, some nights are effortless in the zone. And sometimes they hit a wall. Because like you're on tour for so many days, so many months. Like it's a long time.
It's the same thing every night.
Same people, like you always seeing the boys. So, sometimes you're like, you don't want to see their faces anymore, basically.
Spoiler alert, it's the same show every night.
Yeah.
There's no whereas if it was not as big of a production with all the video elements and the lighting and stuff like that, they could swap songs in and out. Because some bands do that throughout mid-show. They're like, we've been playing this too long.
Or you have to build that in. Like the Jonas Brothers show was a big production with all like fucking flames and
Inflatable Arm Man.
But they built in an aspect to their show
where people could do requests
where they could change that section of the show every night.
That's
in the
cool.
B stage area, right? Because that's the smaller stage. There's nothing, they don't have to worry about all that stuff. They do that. So that is kind of cool how they do that. So
I don't think the boys have ever really like done that much. We're changing the set list. Once it's set, it's set. They might have taken out like one song and added another song.
yeah.
But I don't recall
Between
them doing
legs,
that.
they've swapped out songs occasionally, or like changed the order of songs slightly. But they don't make drastic changes.
Well, remember when they used to do sound check meet and greets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So during those ones, they would do like their songs, but sometimes they would ask for like the crowd, or the crowd would be like, "Hey, can you do this song?" Whatever.
Yes.
And then because of their catalog, because they have so many songs, they don't remember them a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's
So
Right.
they'll be Googling the lyrics to their own songs because it's not what they're used to, and they're not even on the cruise when they were getting ready for Millennium Night. They were practicing all that ahead of time because some of those songs they hadn't sang in years, right? So they're like, I don't
Mhm.
remember this, like whatever. So
Yeah, they were looking on YouTube.
they were looking on YouTube trying to remember some of the dance moves
God
and things
bless.
like that. So could just
Yeah.
be. So that's kind of, I guess, a good problem to have. But again, if you're making like this big production, you don't want to be like, okay, we're doing this big show and now we're going to swap in a song that we didn't really practice.
Account
And
for.
now I don't know
Now
half the
it's
words.
shit.
Like, oh
Yeah.
crap. Then they look unprofessional, right? And
Right.
I feel like the Backstreet Boys really pride themselves on their professionalism
Yes.
and their
Mhm.
ability to like cleanly do things. Whereas some of the other boy bands are a little more chill and then just be like, oh, whatever. The crowd will just sing along.
90
at this
degrees.
point. I think more like an O-Town, if you will, or whatever. They'll be like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we messed up. We're hilarious. Let's move on. But I feel like, especially certain members of the Backstreet Boys seem a little more like, what is that?
Tight-laced.
They're like, we need to
Yes.
do this exactly
Kevin?
right.
Yeah.
Kevin.
I was going to
It's
say
okay
the
to say
Kentucky
Kevin.
cousin. I was going
Kevin
to say
and Brian.
Brian, actually. But yeah, so.
Yeah, Kevin and Brian, yeah. And then Rich asked, like, how do you still stay humble? And then Kevin was like, childhood friends, telling him the truth. Because sometimes people just say, yeah, no, that's great. But like your childhood friends who you've known for a long time, they're going to tell you how it is. His
So
wife as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, the 4 other boys. Also, the entertainment business is not kind to like older groups.
Nope.
So they're always like on to the next. So that keeps you humble as well.
I will say men are just certainly more forgiving for being old in Hollywood than women are.
Yeah.
I think that they have a
For sure.
bit of
Definitely.
a pass for that. But
Or if they gain weight or whatever, oh, dad bod, oh, you're so hot.
I know, right?
like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what's that? Ugh.
Christina Aguilera
Yeah.
is so fat. I'm like, oh my God, she's fine.
Jessica
people.
Simpson the one time, and she's like, and they kept talking about how fat she was, and she looked back and she's like, I was not fat. at
Yeah.
this thing."
Yeah.
You know, like it's
Mom
it's
jokes and
Holly-
stuff.
the
You're
Hollywood
healthy. It's okay to be that because you're healthy. You're not,
Mm,
you know?
scene.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then he said like always sound good and don't settle. And then
Yeah.
the last episode,
The
saving the
final.
best for last, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Carter.
Yes. I was like, ooh, I'm paying attention now.
Okay, I didn't really understand his theme. His theme was how they got together. Is
I think
that-
origin story. I think.
So
was
like origin story or like how they first started touring together. What did they do? So they went to like obviously school gyms. They went to everywhere to like hone their craft. Make sure like they get seasoned with their singing.
Mhm.
So they did like a SeaWorld performance, that kind of thing. And then what was funny was he was saying like he started in the group when he was 13 or 14 and they would go to the clubs. So
Yeah.
someone would like bring him in to sing the songs and then someone would escort him out
Yeah.
after
The other guys
they
would
were
be,
done.
like, dancing.
And the other guys were like partying. I thought that was funny.
It's so sad. Poor
Oh,
Nick.
Nick.
No wonder he became a nerd.
Well, that's
Like,
probably why
video
he's
games.
probably playing video games on the bus.
Yeah,
so.
Probably. Yeah.
AJ only like 2 years older than him. Why was he able to say?
I just feel like
Yeah, I don't
AJ has
know.
That just
Maybe he just looked older.
Who knows?
more charming. I don't know. Where Nick was more like a geeky little kid. I don't know.
I don't.
Squeaky voice. I don't know.
I think it's very obvious that you're like, this is a young boy,
Yes.
you know, as opposed to like AJ, we're like, hey, maybe you're 20. I don't know.
Was it Hanson that also had to? One of the other bands
Uh-huh.
when they were younger, they had to either play in the parking lot of the bars, or again, they would have to be escorted in and out because of liquor law licenses and all that
Maybe,
stuff. So,
yeah.
yeah.
But, you know, 'tis the life of a performer. God bless. What else did he say about Origins? Do you say anything
Yes,
else?
and then they were like he was saying how it was like great to hear stories from like fans who grew up with them and how like, oh, we went to SeaWorld and we saw you perform and this night, and he was like, yeah, that's so great to hear that fans have been with them since the beginning.
Growing up. with them.
Yeah. And then they were like, at the school, when they went to the school, some people were like, oh, boy bands, we don't like them. Why are they here? And then usually they would sing a cappella, and that's when they would churn people around. They're like, okay, they sound good. We like them.
Mm-hmm. I will say, guys, if you're a male and you do a boy band, you know, song at a talent show, you're going to get all the business. I'm just telling you. You're so. Anyone who listens.
So you're gonna get all the what, Lydia?
You can come up with it on your own.
B44.
Yes, I do. That's why it was vividly. I remember it.
Yes, I don't know. Just like this, like high school kids performing B44 Get Down.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
was taking
and then
Get
he
Down.
just,
And he
like-
did like remember the launch. I'm
Like
like,
he like
this
jumped
fucking
into the
guy.
crowd, and we're like, "What? We don't
Holy
even know
shit.
these kids." And Lydia's like, "Yes, I will date you."
When's their album coming out? Yeah, like I don't know, man. Something magical.
And then Nick was like, they're always fighting. They always have to earn it. Nothing was given to them. They're always working hard.
That's
They
true.
continue to do that. They don't take anything for granted.
Mhm.
And then Rich asked, like, oh, when you went to Europe, how come you went to Europe? So then Nick was like, at first we got it going on to the US. It didn't do well on the charts. So then they're like, okay, let's go to Europe. And then they started doing better there. So then they're like, okay, we'll stay here for a little while and see like how the sound can help them to go to number one.
Yes.
Which it did, right? So then he was like, yeah, growing up at the same time in different cultures, trying different things. It's all about discovery.
Yay.
And that was the end of that.
That was the end. So a cute little docu-series to get you pumped for the tour.
Yeah.
Kind of covering
Yeah.
all the different aspects. Get to see each of the
It-
boys. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yes.
Dee,
Are
what are
you
your
guys
thoughts?
going to any of the shows? Let us know in the comments or follow us on everything.
Indeed.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Kofi. Linktree. Boy band break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, thank you to the winners of the pins. Great job.
Some of you still have not messaged me. A few of you have, so those have been sent out. But the other ones, go check it out. And we're gonna have some more. We're getting closer, guys, to our 200th episode. So make sure you're
Woo!
subscribed and stuff.
Oh.
And we are gonna do something amazing. What is it? We cannot tell you. That would ruin.
Because
the
we don't
surprise.
know. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it would ruin the surprise for us as well.
There
So
you
there you go. But yeah, pretty exciting. And if you see us out at the DNA shows, come say hi. We are approachable. I'll probably be wearing my denim jacket that says boy band break on it, unless it's hot as balls because it's July, so it probably.
And I will probably wear the DNA t-shirt because I found it in my closet. I was like, oh, when did we get this? And then I was like, yes. When we got the ticket to Ottawa,
Oh, right.
they
Yes.
sent out packages.
Forgot about that.
I will Sharpie your titties personally. Come and I will autograph for you. No problem.
Oh my god, I thought you said sharpen your titties. I was like, how? With a pencil?
I also
Sharpie.
Sharpie.
Or I will sign a butt cheek as well. You're
I would be
welcome.
delighted if you would sign my butt cheek. There's lots of
Anytime.
room on it.
Oh my gosh, I also thought that. Wow.
Good canvas. Anyways, guys, I don't even know if I'm going to this tour. Maybe
We'll
see.
figure it out.
We'll figure
You
it out.
should. You should.
Yeah, I feel like last minute ticket buying
Yes.
is the best ticket buying.
Yeah.
That's our strategy for July 2nd.
Good
So
strat,
that's
good strat.
fingers crossed, guys. So anyway.
Woo!
All right, Dee, wrap us up.
Thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.